Hey gang, so today we're looking at something sent by Meta EDC. It's the Phase 1.5 by Cyber EDC in full Zerk, and you can currently get this at Meta EDC for $190, and if you use the code TheFidgetFix, you get 10% off. So this has very quickly become my favorite form factor for fidgets. I did not mean to put that many F's into it, it's just the way it turned out. It's round, there's no corners, there's no hot spots. It fits in your hand nicely. There's something good about something round like this. This is kind of like a lipstick shape, a lighter, a battery, I don't know. I mean, there's something about this that feels really good in your hand. There's something about this that sounds really good. All right, enough talking. Let's get this under the lens and open this up and see what makes it click. It's the Phase 1.5. Let's go. Okay, so here's the Phase. Now this is going to be a pretty simple review because there isn't a ton to take apart here. It's actually pretty well contained. So let's just start right away with the sound. This has 4 different sounds to it, and they're all quite good in their own way. So let's just listen to them. I'm just going to rotate through and show you the 4 different settings. So the sounds are coming from the change in the track. So as I turn this, there's a ball inside this button that's pushing into the track, and all that's happening is that it's basically changing the profile of the track, right? There's 4 different tracks there, and each time I turn it, we get a different track. So that's actually, I mean, that's pretty cool. It's a really neat way of getting different sounds. So let's look at the haptics. The haptics, of course, tied in with the sound. Because you get 4 different sounds, we also get 4 different haptic feedback styles, which again is pretty amazing. So we get this kind of slow click, a much tighter set of clicks, we get, this has almost no clicks. They're so small that the ball almost runs right through them. The only real clicks you get are at the beginning and end. But you do get this really, really shallow zipper feeling. This one's kind of interesting because we get big and small, so you kind of get this speed up to the clicks. So haptic-wise, this is actually a lot of fun. Very mindless when you're driving, but it's kind of perfect for that. Just because I can change it when I get bored. Okay, let's talk about ergos. Now, this shape is a great shape. This is kind of like a lighter, or like a lipstick case or something. Like, this is a really, really good shape. The only thing I find is that the logic of how you use it works against the shape. So when I'm holding this, I want to push up and come down maybe part way. Like, basically this is comfortable for me. But if I want to change the haptic, I have to turn it over, change the head, and then turn it back. If I want to use it in the way that I find most comfortable. Because when it's like this and I use it, I can use it, but my thumb is bending all the way down to the end of the rod to push up, and then I only get to push up halfway. So, you know, if I'm using this really extended, then okay. But I'm balancing it on my fingers. What I want is this. I want it to sit here so that I can grab it and bring the button all the way down. Because what's nice about this side, I can use it, switch it up, but it's just not as comfortable doing it, and it's not intuitive. So I guess what I would love is if there was an extension on the bottom of here to make this longer. If this was longer and gave us somewhere to kind of wrap our finger down here, I think it would be perfect. It's just that little, see again, I automatically switch it to here to use it. And that's how I drive with it. And then I flip it over and start playing with it. The other part of, I should say too, with the haptics and part of the ergo is there's a clicker here, but it's not much of a clicker. It's very muted. And I just find I don't really use that part of it. The slots for trits, which is, you can get quite a few in here. You can get 8. And I'm sure it would start looking pretty crazy. I got to get some trits at some point just to try out. Okay, let's look at the weight. So in grams, this is about 72 grams and 2.5 ounces. So it's a really nice weight, actually. It's really, really good because it's nice and solid. Now, this is polished circ, so it's going to be heavier than like titanium or something, but it's really sitting at a nice area in terms of weight. It fits well. It's substantial. You're holding on to something, but it's not so heavy that it's hard to hold on to. And it's not so light that it feels like it's going to fly out of your hand. Okay, let's look at the internals now. Now, there is not much here to look at, and I will show you why. So, this cylinder is held in by magnets around the collar in here. So, as we pull this out, what's important is hold down on the button and then remove the sleeve. Because holding down on the button and then lifting it this way means that we won't lose the ball. Now you can replace the ball with different materials, but I kind of like this one, the way it comes. And then we have our button. Now it also comes with a little slide tape on this ring here, which I've applied. I don't know if it really matters when I'm sliding it around. It's not like I slide it a lot, but it's there, so I figured I'd put it on. Okay, let's take this. Let's take the top off here, because this just gives us access to the clicker. And that's all we have here is the little click button and this spring setup. So it's just a big old spring, and we have this little clicker on the top. And so if you push down hard enough, you compress the spring to the point where the little button in here, the little rod, will activate the button itself. This little, these little sort of dishes that we get. So we have our spring in place. We have our cap. There we go. So with that ready, I wouldn't advise you taking the cap off, unless you really want to go in and change that clicker. It's annoying to get it back together because it does just want to jump out onto the spring. There you go. And the idea is the spring is completely compressed, or almost completely compressed. Okay, so then to put this back together, we have our little button here, and we just choose any side, really, it doesn't matter. But we just lay this down on top of the button, And then I'm just turning it over so that we can see it. And then you just slide it on, and just remember that the track here goes in here. Line up your track. And that's it. So there's no screws other than this. But everything else is just opens up and closes. So again, nice and simple. Okay, so final thoughts on this. It's great. I actually really, really love this. But as a reviewer, it's always important to kind of find areas that could that need improvement, that could be improved upon. So, you know, things like this button, this clicker, it's not a great clicker. It could, I think it needs something else. It just needs a better concept for a clicking button, and that would be great. And the other thing would just be elongating this a little bit to give us more of a grip here and still be able to turn it, because that's what I want, right? I want to be able to use it and just kind of switch it up while I'm using it. Yes, I know I can do this, and I can turn it and turn it back around. But again, if this was something that I'd like to have, you know, if we wanted this to be perfect, that would be it. Just a little bit more on the end here so that I can hold on to it and then switch it up. But great fidget, good value for the money. Again, obviously any fidget to somebody that is not used to the fidget world, the money is horrendous, I'm sure. But to those of us that are used to paying for these things, we know what the materials are. We know what the average costs are. This one makes sense. It's fun. It's good to use. It's got 4 different settings that you can change on the fly. Now, I know I'm changing this with the other way, but what happens is I turn it and then I have to turn it back. So, you know, yes, I know it's a little thing to complain about. I'm just saying it would be perfect if it was a bit longer on this end down here and it was something I could hold on to. All right, gang, that is the Phase 1.5. Thanks for watching. Running through the fire,